Last but not least, we do have our final set of the day coming in with Luminosity versus SoaR Gaming. SoaR unable to find a win so far this season, so let's see if they can go ahead and break that today. Casters, it's your time to shine.
Thanks a lot, Melissa. Different story coming out for SoaR, like you said. They haven't been able to find a win. Heading up against Luminosity, however.
Yeah, Luminosity, they coming off of 2-0 victory against Flashpoint, whereas SoaR struggling a little bit earlier on. They lost against Eager. It's a different tale between these two teams. And as we head into the picks and bans for this game, you know, we're going to see andinster in the mid lane against his former teammate Baskin.
Yeah, we'll see how this one works out. Thoth immediately banned out by LG. Don't see any of that nonsense. SoaR Gaming on the other side, ban out the Ratatasker. You've got Homiefe in the jungle for SoaR, so you've got to watch out for that Thanatos. Luminosity a little bit more concerned about the Ra and the Sylvanas on the side of SoaR. First pick for LG.
Could be towards Mask, but Zeus. It's going to be the Zeus for Baskin. It's a nice idea to try to cater around towards your new mid laner. Despite Baskin and andinster having a lot of experience in Smite, it's still a good idea because of the fact that they're new to the mid role. You're trying to cater around that, make sure they feel as comfortable as possible.
Shen going to be selected for SoaR. This is a character that can play in the jungle, can play in the support, can play in the solo lane, so a little bit of ambiguity there. Isis, however, certainly no ambiguity there. She is going to be the mid lane, one of the most high clearing mages around.
Definitely a great god in the early game. That's what you want to do in the mid lane. If you outclear the opposition, you're able to rotate in either the red buff or the speed buff. And Shen is one of these gods we haven't seen in quite a while. Used to be a god that would get heavily prioritized, flex between that solo and jungle, or even banned.
Well, they took away the cripple on the pin, so that's going to be one of the bigger changes to Shen, which is why we don't see him as prevalent, but he's still pretty damn good. So SoaR's going to go ahead and select him in the first round of their draft phase. Gebhun, Batz, and Zeus will be the first half of Luminosity. Erlang, Isis, and Sobek. Right now, how are you feeling about the draft?
I like the control coming out of Luminosity between the Fear No Evil, the Cataclysm from Luminosity. It's good opportunity to cater towards Baskin. He has enough space between those two ultimates to get off the damage that he needs to between the Chain Lightning and the ultimate.
So earlier on, we were seeing Hunbat selected very early for Weekend, number 1. Almost for him and his team. Now here we see the Hunbats come later on in the draft, which is when I think you sort of expect to see it. Basically what happens is Hunbats does well, like Handyman highlighted, he does well pretty much against anybody, but I like that he does well against Isis. SoaR are looking to set up they're looking to drop the ult, fight on it, and then Hunbats can disrupt that in a heartbeat.
And I think the Isis pick was also trying to cater towards defending against the Zeus ultimate. Wherever the Zeus ultimate's going to go, that circular protection is going to negate a lot of the damage, give you the protections and the sustain you need. But Luminosity, to wrap out their picks and bans, they're going to take the Medusa and the Hercules.
I love the Hercules choice. I think this is a character that we need to see more of in North America. He's been very prevalent over there in Europe. Ionic played him in support earlier, which... interesting. He's obviously going to win the lane. How does he translate later? Ionic certainly made it work. I am a fan of Hercules. I think it's a very powerful god, so seeing him over here for LG should be the good look. And there is Homiefe's Thanatos excelling against some of these characters. Let's get into game and see how these teams will fight. SoaR looking for their first win against Luminosity Gaming.
And I like the fact that this Thanatos is paired up with the Isis. You have a very aggressive early mid laner paired up with a even more aggressive early jungler and a very safe solo laner for Benji. It's going to be the Sobek, whereas Jigz is normally playing these, you know, utility defensive type of supports. He's the one that's going to be playing the Shen instead.
I love seeing the change of pace for Jigz here. I think a lot of players or a lot of people are used to seeing him play characters along the lines of Khepri and stuff like that. Like you said, very defensive, but we've seen the Amaterasu, at least not in the SPL just yet, but he really likes the Amaterasu support, this Shen. We're seeing this other side of Jigz, which he's just a multifaceted player. I've known this for a long time. I'm happy that we're finally getting to see it in the SPL. Tully, I think that Jigz is one of the best supports in the entire world, and this might be the year that everybody can really see it.
I would agree with you, absolutely. His mechanics are very good. They're on point. And this Shen, as long as he's in the mid lane here against Baskin Zeus, despite the cripple being removed from the javelin toss, Zeus is not going to have any escape naturally anyway, so the root is good enough to be able to set up a lot of damage and kills. It could even set up andinster hitting that spear ball from a distance.
So Hercules very difficult to kill over there in the solo lane. BaRRaCCuDDa actually going to start off in the jungle. Basically, this is a counterplay here. Understanding that he's going to lose the battle in the duo lane, he starts off in the jungle and clears off the smaller little baby guys next to the big buff camp. Not clearing the buff just yet. This allows him to get to lane and still get the farm. But if he gets out-pushed and they try to pressure him in the jungle, they won't be able to pick up a buff.
Look at Jigz making this rotation, forcing the early purification beads out of mass. Even the meditation from Jeff. But
Nice
look at this, Benji's getting flipped and tossed right back with the knock-up, taking a little bit of poke and then a slow.
That slow is big. That slow is very big. Batz with the large slow. A couple more basics should secure Benji. He's only level 1, doesn't have the flip available, so is able to heal up a little bit. Here's a rotation from SoaR. Here comes Homiefe from the backside. Mask falls down. Andy with the big hits from the mid lane. Baskin able to answer back, but it's after SoaR already put one on the board. 500 gold first blood bounty going to SoaR.
Both mid-mages credited with the kill, but andinster finding it first. Going to have more of a bounty. The net worth favoring him by about 100 gold. So it's going to favor him towards finishing off that Doom Orb, it's looking like. Different style between these mid-mages and mentality, because Doom Orb is obviously going to help out andinster get the damage off, but not as tanky, whereas Baskin is expecting to get aggressed on going for the Dynasty plate helmet.
You really expect that to be a Doom Orb? Hold that. We'll see Baskin in trouble. Homiefe picks up the kill. Thanatos off to an early start here. Like I said, so Thanatos has become the flavor of the week, really, for these players right now. He's very powerful in the early game, which is why he's so flavorful at the moment. And I mean, the late game execute is certainly welcome. Homiefe and Mirage also need to give a shout out to Mirage. Homiefe is one of the few players that actually had a really strong Thanatos to begin with. And now that he's part of the meta and he's a popular pick, he's just happy as a pig in mud.
Well, Homiefe is a great jungler with any god that you give him, which is why andinster is so confident in his abilities to relinquish his own role that he's been playing professionally for in Smite in the past 3 years or so. So it doesn't matter if it's Thanatos or anything else, but BaRRaCCuDDa making the rotation. Nice petrify stun.
Gets it on Homiefe, the follow-up coming out from the monkey. Homiefe able to find safety, but BaRRaCCuDDa takes out Jigz. Playing on that Medusa, another character that has recently really risen to prominence.
And this is what Season 4 meta has developed. These hunters have been getting more experience because they're left alone for so long. 3-minute mark to be level 5 as a hunter is the dream. And the rotation kind of favored BaRRaCCuDDa there because the action kind of came to him, so that's going to hurt Vetium. He's favoring more of the distant action where he can utilize that global ultimate and out-rotate BaRRaCCuDDa, but it seemed that the Medusa was slightly faster than the Apollo.
Just able to wheel around and get to the scene of the crime a little bit faster. Roll out from JeffHindla. We have so many new players, so many players shifting over positions that seeing Jeff, the classic support in his classic role, certainly a nice balance of new and old, right?
Absolutely. It's always great to see JeffHindla being matched against other more newer support players because there's a difference of styles between the builds as well. Jigz is a little bit more aggressive-minded, playing this Erlang Shen, whereas JeffHindla is always going to want to push his buttons to make sure everybody's left alive.
Well, when it comes down to it, I mean, Jeff is... I'm excited to see Jeff performing again. I think last year kind of... He suffered a little bit. I don't think last year was his best year in the SPL. The year before was even more interesting. And here, I think towards the latter half of the year, especially at Super Regionals and Worlds, Jeff really picked it up. And as we hit into Season 4, I'm kind of expecting a lot of the same, to be honest with you.
So lane Benji getting out-traded off against ScaryD. Warrior type he has been complete. And I like what Benji did, picking up the mana chalice, recognizing the fact that he's going to be in a little bit of trouble not having his blue buff, taking a little bit of damage from the boulder. His teleport still not available for 15 seconds, and by using that boulder, ScaryD clears the wave and is going to be able to get back to the lane, no problem.
Benji opting to stay here at least until he finishes off these minions underneath his tower. And now he'll head back to base. The Sobek also will have the teleport available.
It seemed that Benji should have stayed in the lane, used his ultimate to be able to clear the next wave, considering the fact that ScaryD did have to back. His teleport is on cooldown for another 105 seconds. That would have gave him enough of a timing window where Benji could back to base and not have to use the teleport and then rely on using it during a more crucial moment in the game.
And there's now a 100-second lead on the teleport for the Hercules. So once that teleport comes off of cooldown, expect to see Luminosity make a call like Gold Fury or something, really expect to see right beforehand, right? When there's 30 seconds left in the teleport, make the play in mid lane, get a kill, get a pick, and then shift over to the Gold Fury. You can teleport your Hercules over while Sobek really has to hoof it.
Smart play by BaRRaCCuDDa and Jeff. They got one of the oracles and they disengaged right away. They didn't really care about wanting to go for the second one, recognizing the fact that SoaR had more members. They did not want to get into skirmish they weren't prepared for. And by getting one of those oracles, they don't get the vision for 90 seconds from it, but they also prevent SoaR from getting it.
That's the key. You're not really looking for the pure vision all the time. Sometimes you just want the denial. So they're able to sniff that one out. 2-2 right now. Very even game here, folks. 6 minutes in. Luminosity off to a good start this season, but SoaR, despite their really superstar lineup, they've yet to find a win this season.
I'm not too worried for SoaR in the long run because of the players that they have, but ScaryD doing a lot of damage to this Guardian solo laner. This is what you're really expecting between the Warrior-Guardian matchup, and Benji getting poked out in this situation. Now, with his teleport on cooldown for 110 seconds, he has to be very careful.
Yeah, ScaryD is also another one. We talked a little bit about Jeff having a slump and then turning things around. ScaryD just has turned himself around as a player altogether, looking so much stronger here since Super Regionals, or more specifically Worlds. ScaryD absolutely stepped it up. I mean, so being the solo laner yourself, how do you rate where ScaryD has been?
ScaryD has made leaps and bounds, but same thing could be said about Benji during Season 2. Homiefe doing a lot of damage to ScaryD, but he's not an execute threshold after that death scythe. Only level 7 Thanatos. It's not quite maxed out. It's going to force him to back, though, making sure that during the rotation of Benji, we'll be able to pick up some of these archers. But like you were talking about before, ScaryD made leaps and bounds in Season 3 Worlds, but the same thing could be said about Benji in Season 2 when he was back in Enemy with Vetium, Pain to Beyond, Chaos, all those old screw. He was basically making leaps and bounds during Super Regionals and even Worlds, winning matchups he shouldn't have won.
Right, and seeing ScaryD now on a character like Hercules, Hercules now is very strong, mainly because of the change to his heal. But Hercules was left out of the character pool for a long time simply because, and I'm not even exaggerating here, players thought that his second ability, the lift up, was just too hard to hit consistently. So that's been the reason that Hercules has seen limited play. Whereas every time we go over to that solo lane and see ScaryD, he's nailing the flip.
He has to be able to nail the flip here if he's going to win this matchup so convincingly. Now 1 level lead over his Guardian solo lane opposition. This is what you need to do. Continue to bully the lane until these teamfights started happening. We're seeing ScaryD rushing into that Shield of Regrowth, really trying to get off that 20% CDR.
It's got 20% CDR, Tolly. How'd you know how much CDR it had?
I overheard it from somewhere. I was in my office during that last set, and then all I heard was 20 CDR!
Well, it's just so impressive. For Hercules, it fits. So we saw it last match. We were talking about it on supports on Polar Bear Mike, and there was a little bit of conversation there. But when it comes down to it, for Hercules, who's looking for early protection, early CDR, is a perfect item, not to mention the passive. With full CDR, every time Hercules pops that mitigate wounds, he's going to get a speed buff.
It's very important to be able to constantly get the sustain off. A 10-second internal cooldown on that item makes it very easy to get that 40% additional movement speed off of that passive. Not to mention that puts you in position. You could use it offensively just to move closer into the action to get somebody out of position with the pull-push combination.
Yeah, you're going to definitely wind up seeing that out of ScaryD. Benji joined here by his jungler Homiefe. A little bit of help shown up. BaRRaCCuDDa's picking up the red buff here on the left side. Gold Fury still has yet to be looked at. Players really spending more time looking towards the oracles and some of the smaller objectives like jungle camps than really trying to invest heavily into the Gold Fury just yet.
At this point, with Gold Fury being a highly contested objective, neither side really has the cooldowns that you want to have to be able to burst a Gold Fury. Now, you do have andinster with circular protection, whereas Luminosity does have Zeus, but this early in the game, those mid-mages don't do that much burst damage with those ultimates quite yet.
Jeff's caught by one CC after the other, but no damage to follow up. So just a little bit of an annoyance. ScaryD, on the other hand, makes the teleport over the wall, and here comes Vetium off to the ultimate.
Beautiful. Beautiful timing. He knew that he was in danger. No hesitation. Immediately separating the distance by dashing away and then ulting without any hesitation.
But that's all Luminosity wanted. They wanted everybody to go away. Gold Fury's going to go down to Luminosity. SoaR responding. Homiefe in the sky. Looking for a target, but there is none. Instead lands defensively on his teammate, trying to help him out. BaRRaCCuDDa takes out Jigz anyway. And Benji continuing on the right side. ScaryD picks up Andy. It's going to be a 0 for 2 so far. Beautiful Falcon kick coming out of ScaryD, but Vetium able to dash away right quick. The follow from Mask. There's the damage, turning it around. ScaryD playing body blocks. Here comes Homiefe trying to take out the jungle.
All he needs is one depth scythe in the back line. ScaryD finds his second victim. It's going to be Vetium. Not able to connect, hitting the wall instead. ScaryD utilizing the shield of regrowth perfectly, able to pick off andinster and then Vetium.
Oh, ScaryD, how things have changed. Now you are the carry. He misses it.
Oh, the depth scythe giving him enough health to survive.
Oh,
he's not done! ScaryD finds the boulder over into the tier 2 tower!
Over the wall, ScaryD's the music man now! Oh my goodness, talking about last year, where ScaryD was arguably a liability for his squad. Now over here, not only does he get to kill himself, Mask right there, he's saved from the speed of Hercules, the ability usage, and the body blocks, and then he winds up taking out the Homiefe jungle. That right there, ScaryD, in the commentary world, we make reels of ourselves looking for new jobs. ScaryD, put that on your reel.
Put that in your portfolio, but listen to this. You know why ScaryD found that third kill in the game for himself?
20% CDR!
No, you say that, but it's actually true because he used his boulder originally trying to pick off Vetium that was able to get off to his chariot just in the nick of time before all the damage happened. And as a result of the earlier 2 kills that he had onto andinster and Vetium, using the shield of regrowth passive, being able to put himself in a position to dive that backline, he then utilized the other aspect of the item by having the cooldown reduction, throwing the boulder onto Homiefe.
Well done. Across the board, Luminosity take the Gold Fury, win the team fight fantastically. Everybody really does his job, but ScaryD protects himself and his teammates. Exactly what you want your solo laner to do. He's 3-0-1 right now. 4 to 6 of the kills LG has the big old ScaryD stamp of approval on it, and that's going to lead LG to a relatively large lead here early on. 4,000 gold, give or take, just 12.5 in.
With that Gold Fury, with those 3 kills, ScaryD is now finished off, capping off his CDR, picking up the Breastplate of Valor, getting the Thorns as his second relic. He's going to be really obnoxious in this backline because not only are you going to be having to figure out ways to peel this Hercules off of you, now you have to worry about the Thorns that's going to come out. Vetium is going to have to basically run away forever.
Yeah, it's very interesting, this Thorns item.
At this point in time, Vetium might even need a Fatalis just to be able to outrun ScaryD.
It's possible. Nice little flip kick combo coming out onto Benji here. ScaryD just hitting most of those earth acres. Not making the mistake. I'm not gonna do it. Not today.
Not today, Satan. Just
SoaR
finding
here.
the pull.
Yeah, so we're here in the mid lane trying to figure things out. But BaRRaCCuDDa versus Vetium is a fight that we've seen time and time again, going back a couple of years now, to BaRRaCCuDDa, the true veteran. I think you can call Vetium a veteran these days. He's been in the league for almost 3 years now. Certainly had an impact, played on a couple of different teams. Part of the original roster on that enemy team. We always talk about General Payne training up his rookies. Vetium was the first class, and then graduated and went out to Denial, and now here on SoaR. I think this is one of his better opportunities to find success.
Mask, though, he's going to teleport to his monkey, force the beads out of andinster. Circle protection not in time to heal up andinster, finding a nice clean pick into the sky. Lands Homiefe as well as Vetium. Zeus ultimate deterring, but that's going to be a second up for SoaR.
Great combination coming out right there. Homiefe on the follow-up finds a kill, but he dies himself. ScaryD picks up Vetium. BaRRaCCuDDa picks up Jigz off of the assist of the flip coming out from ScaryD. Gonna tank the tower real quick, hand it off to JeffHindla. Benji wants nothing to do with this. It's a T1 going to Luminosity. They put double digits in their kill column, 10-3. LG continuing down the mid lane, looking for a tier 2.
JeffHindla baited himself out, enough abilities to allow Mask to go in 1-on-3, sacrificing his own life, allowed Luminosity to pick up those 4 additional kills off of the global rotation from Homiefe and Vetium. Was not enough to really deter the team fight, with BaRRa rotating from behind as well as ScaryD. Those 2 side laners were so impactful in that team fight. the flip back onto Jigz, allowing him to pull him away from the tier 1 tower, gives Luminosity the tier 1, tier 2, and now more Oracles. Golf here respawning as well.
And this is talking about the veteranship of the players, right, and how long they've been playing and being in the league and understanding Smite. The Gold Fury timing, oh, LG not going to go for it. Just the Gold Fury timing literally 1 or 2 seconds early. If that Gold Fury spawns right when LG is there, well, they're going to pick it up. Mask just takes out Homiefe.
Deleted.
One-on-one.
Absolutely deleted. You're looking at the net worth between these two junglers. 2,000 gold in the lead is Mask, able to finish off that beat stick, and that's why he had all that damage to be able to absolutely melt Homiefe. Now working on the Shield of Regrowth. Didn't have it in time though for that one-on-one encounter.
This is one of those games, those, in my opinion, rare games where Batz becomes the carry. A lot of times Batz is just a utility setup man. His job is just to create opportunities for other players. You get the lucky crit and you're able to bring somebody down more so than they anticipated. But real talk, your job isn't to murder people as Batz most of the time. But if you go ahead and you pick up a lead, Tully, and you're able to just get a couple of oopsie-daisy kills, all of a sudden you're able to control the opposition and you just start swinging.
Like you mentioned before, Batz is a guy that can play from behind, but if you get that early lead, he's a monster to be reckoned with. Now working on his 5th item so far. The rest
Penetration, you think?
It's going to more than likely be, could be Yoden's Wrath, trying to get a little bit more cooldown reduction here. Not going to be the same style as Homiefe. Could look for the Shield of Regrowth, but not going to be benefiting from that passive, so instead electing for a more different option. Portal Demon was taken by Luminosity as you hear that sound. 750 gold in their pocket.
Clean, clean, clean. SoaR right now looking up at about an 8,000 gold lead for the enemy. SoaR right here, or ScaryD, excuse me, right here. Just cleaning up the lane. Kick already on cooldown, so just gets the flip on Benji. Not really about the kill, more about the objective here on the left side of the map. Big Spirit Ball comes out, but that's all it will be. Mask controlling the mid lane, pops everybody in 2 different directions, taking the 1-on-3, and comes up good with 1 kill, sending the mid laner home the safe way. Nobody cleaning up Andy there, but Mask brings both players down 1-0, 1-10%, and Vetium likely to fall here. Hindla, the handler, with the kill. Surprise, Jigz. BaRRaCCuDDa's waiting for you around the corner. That heal is going to come through, but
the Cataclysm, the knockout's not even going to matter. Mask gets another kill, finding the flip under the left side Phoenix. JeffHindla should be fine after the shield. And now the ultimate from Benji, trying to deter the rest of Luminosity, but BaRRaCCuDDa has been in the mid lane the whole time. The Phoenix is going to fall.
Yeah, mid lane Phoenix goes down right before the 18-minute mark. That'll take a back out of these players. Is the fire portal still up?
No, at this point it's down. The portal only lasts for 1 minute, so it's something that you have to take advantage of very quickly in a team fight, or at least during 2 waves going down a specific lane. Mask is just so far ahead that he went in 1v3 trying to pick off andinster. He messes up his monkey bounce blink, and then despite letting andinster live with 10% health, he still finds a kill on Homiefe, diving the backline with the addition of Baskin.
Batz does very well against Thanatos, believe it or not, mainly because of the ultimate. Thanatos is, if you're able to just control him, you can burst him down very easily. His base stats are relatively squishy, and with only 1 part of that Shield of Regrowth built, there really isn't anything helping Thanatos out. What keeps Thanatos alive is his ability to fight. If he's able to turn around and hit you with the scythe, he's going to stay. And
that last encounter, unfortunately for SoaR, Homiefe did not have his relics available. Yeah. Decided to, as he respawned, he had them both up. So this next encounter, he will have it. But looking on the side of andinster, he doesn't have the purification beads. So that's something Mask is definitely going to be looking forward to. And that's something very important for Luminosity, stripping away that circle of protection defensively. If andinster has to use it, Frenzied Ritual being popped. It looks like Luminosity should be able to grab this.
It's melting! Fire Giant just disappears. Frenzy and none of the ultimates, rather, just all the abilities coming out really destroy that Fire Giant. No chance of a contest coming out from SoaR. Nice little dash coming out from Benji to avoid the combo out of ScaryD there. And look at the net worth. This is domination here, folks. When everybody on one team is above everybody on the other side in net worth, there's not a single lane that has come up positive.
JeffHindla is actually worth more gold than Baskin is, which is actually surprising for your support. But diving the backline is Mask yet again with SoaRD able to take out andinster.
Just a fantastic play from the jungler. Jigz is going to fall down. There's a great pull after a pull. SoaRD on the good side, 5-0-4 for the solo laner in his sophomore year. Just a great performance out of SoaRD, leading the charge, dodging the damage out of Homiefe. The Titan's going to be the target. The ultimates come out, and that should be that, folks. LG taking down SoaR.
SoaR still struggling a little bit, not able to really find a victory quite yet, and that's going to be their third loss so far. They need to figure out a way to shut down Mask in this second game here, because that Hunbat was very problematic for SoaR.
The Hunbats really just took off, and like we said, we're used to seeing the character of Hunbats really play from the facilitator standpoint, but every once in a while you get a quick lead and Hunbat starts to just turn into a terror. So a great game out of Mask, and even SoaRD really coming through on that Hercules. I think SoaRD put LG in a position to go ahead and take that team win. Everybody really playing fantastic. SoaR.